Hello, and Randy here again, and we're playing Farming Simulator 15 on Central California on the RDAllen multiplayer server. Just myself on at the moment. Just started the server up from apparently a crash. Not entirely sure what happened, but the server was offline, unfortunately. Again, like I said, unfortunately not sure why. There was no errors in the logs, so that was kind of odd. And okay, my steering wheel is not working. Let's see if we can fix that in a minute. There we go. Don't know why that is with the Farming Sim steering wheel. Every now and then I get that. It does not work, and just unplug it, plug it back in, and then it'll work. So, don't know why, but just every now and then it does that. Anyway. Working on cultivating under some what looks like corn, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's corn or not. That might not be corn. Oh, you know what? Maybe it is. Yes, this might actually be corn then, maybe. There's a crop that looks very similar to corn, but it's not actually corn. I was thinking that's what this might be for a moment, but maybe not. Now that I see those ears on there. Anyway, cultivating under, we cannot find a way to harvest it, whatever it is. So we are just cultivating under. We'll probably end up doing the same thing with the cotton as well. Apparently the cotton does not work on this map unless we actually have a actual cotton harvester. So, and unfortunately I do not have one of those. I know the Ozonator, he found one for us. Debating whether I'll put that on the server or not. Probably not, because we have quite a few mods already, so we'll have to see once on that one. Typically most maps that have cotton will let you harvest it with just a normal combine. I was assuming that would be the same way with this map, but apparently that is not the case. I suspect differences in the cotton multi-fruit versus the cotton specified on this map is probably the problem. But at any rate, with normal combines, cotton does not work on this map. Or at least from everything we've tried anyway. Funny how those wheels are way up like that. For some reason that doesn't look right either. Oh, maybe that's the way they're supposed to be. Anyway, we're driving a John Deere 6210 here. Same tractor we had on Chellington, I believe. I'm pretty sure we were using this tractor on Chellington. Obviously, we cannot have a map without a John Deere tractor on it, so I had to fix that problem here a few days ago and buy a John Deere tractor. Got a couple of case tractors running around, so we had to have a green one, you know. Have to go green or go home, so I had to get a green one. And money-wise, we're doing all right so far. The reason I do not have a whole lot of money yet, someone bought a buyable object, and when you buy a buyable object, number one, whoever buys it has to have enough money to actually cover the cost of the buyable object. However, when you actually go to buy... Is that cultivator actually up? Oh, I guess it is. Okay. However, when you actually go to buy the buyable object, it does not actually take the money from you. But it does. Let's say there's 4 people on the server. You buy a buyable object that costs $1 million. Whoever buys it has to have $1 million to actually be able to buy it. But when it takes the money away from you, it's going to take $250,000 from everybody. That's, at least in my experience, that's the way it works with the buyable objects on all the maps that we've played multiplayer so far. I think it was at the feed lot. Boy, I forget what was bought again. I'll have to ask, but I know I was told, and I don't remember now. So yes, that's why I'm short like a couple 100,000 basically. And that's basically just the way it works with the buyable objects. And it's just kind of funny how it actually checks to make sure you have the money before you buy it. So like I said, when you go to buy it, if it costs $1 million, you actually have to have $1 million before it'll let you buy it. But then when you actually go and buy it, it'll only take, if there's 4 people on the server, it'll only take $250,000. So you'll still actually have 750,000 left yet. I'm not sure how somebody was cultivating this field. I see there's actually 2 tractors and they're like skipping a couple of rows or something. I'm not sure how that was working. You can see a fairly large field here, field 11. It's actually one of the circular fields. Which reminds me, somebody actually asked, hey, can we see some harvesting or cultivating and whatnot, or planting on one of the circular fields? Well, I guess you are going to see it. Working on it this very episode. So let's see, where are we? I think we got a lot of field to go yet. What do you folks think? Yeehaw. This does appear to be fertilizing the ground, so this might be one of the crop types for that purpose. Maybe, I'm not sure. Like I said, I believe it's the green fertilizer mod that's installed, which basically means when you cultivate a crop into the ground, it should actually fertilize the ground. So I don't know if this is one of those crops that's maybe specifically for that. I'm not sure. But you can definitely tell if you look close. You can see it's not fertilized in front of the tractor. But once it's cultivated, it is being fertilized, or becoming fertilized. Definitely thinking a bigger cultivator here would be nice. Maybe a bigger tractor to go with it. If somebody hadn't spent all my money for me, I probably could have done that too. Oh well. We definitely need to work on getting the buyable objects, that's for sure. Probably want to work on getting either the beef or the pigs next, I'm thinking. Or maybe the dairy cows, not sure. One of the 3. And also for the question I asked last episode there on this map on Central California. And I did put a poll in that video as well for those of you who voted on that. Overwhelmingly, everybody says we should get 8,000 cows on this map. So I think we're going to try to set that as a goal, and we'll see if we can get the 8,000 cows. Now, Miss Izzy there left a comment there for me. She actually did the math for us to figure out how much that would cost. Whopping $20 million, I believe, was the cost of that. So, and that doesn't include the cost of buying the dairy farm first, the cost of, well, I guess we don't have to feed the cows, but we probably should. If we start going crazy with the silage again. Okay, let me rephrase that. If we keep going crazy with the silage, it won't take us long to probably get 20 million. You folks may recall in Chellington, starting that map, we definitely went a bit silage crazy. And we started on this map, we started doing, a little bit of silage. And I'm like, hey, remember what happened on Chellington when we did all this? Oh yeah, well don't worry, this won't happen on this map. Well, I would have to say it's probably is happening on this map. We've gone a bit silage crazy. Maybe not quite as crazy as Chellington, but we definitely doing a bit of silage. A lot of bit of silage. In fact, like field 2, the field above field 2, silage, crazy. So yes, a lot of grass on that map. Or on that field, I mean. But yes, a lot of silage. I think it's been mowed at least 3 times now and picked up and turned into silage now, to my knowledge. And that is probably at least a couple million liters worth of silage. Probably hasn't even all been sold yet, if I had to guess. I've been told a couple of the bunkers on this map are a little bit on the buggy side. So, speaking of bunkers, boy, I think it was field 6 there. There's actually a invisible bunker in the middle of that field. So yeah, definitely a couple of errors on this map. Okay, as soon as I push the stop recording button, Thomas apparently left, and now we're recording again. So you folks missed a whopping total of about 1 second, probably. So a field with a bigger cultivator would be nice. Unfortunately, I probably can't really pull a bigger one with the tractor I currently have. Seems to me I did put a couple modded. I did put a modded cultivator in. Yes, I did. I put a couple modded cultivators in. I can afford it. Problem is, I probably can't pull it. But you know what? I think we should find out if I can. Why not, right? We got, oops, wrong button. We got 200 horsepower, right? Actually, if I remember to pull the money out of my bank, I might actually be able to afford a bigger tractor. I did get reimbursed for the money I lost. Or some of the money I lost, anyway. From the buyable object, so... Unfortunately, the money was put in my bank, so not a whole lot I can do with it. Anyway, let's fold this up. I believe that's how you fold it up anyway. Button 5. I need to remember to probably set this back to a gamepad help again. You folks may remember for Sosnovka, for the Homer DLC, I set it to, or set it back to the keyboard help. Because for some reason I was not getting the options for some of the Homer DLC buttons. They were not showing up properly. So I switched it back to gamepad, or back to the keyboard help from gamepad help. And that fixed the problem. So anyway, we'll be back in a moment, folks, once I pick up that cultivator. Okay, folks, we're back again. We got the John Deere disc behind us. And let's see what's here. We are pulling up somewhere in here where we left off. Let's see, where did I leave off? I'm guessing right here somewhere. So yes, just might a bit bigger cultivator. Okay, I might have to rework this a moment here. Let's get this straightened out. Zero that offset. We'll get going and recalculate that width. Or maybe I straighten it out a little bit first. That might help. Might help. Okay, now let's see if we get a more accurate 10.3. Really, 10.3? I thought it was 12. Okay, they cheated us out of 2 meters here. I want my money back. Yeah, we'll calculate the width here again once we actually get going, like I said, and hopefully get a little bit better, accurate value. Okay, now that we're going straight, let's recalculate that. 10.1. It's going the wrong way. Oh well. I believe this is the same cultivator I have on Sosnovka. And now that I say that, I think I remember that being a problem there too. Claims to be a 12 meter, it's actually only 10. That bastard of a salesperson cheated us out of 2 meters. Oh well. Still slightly bigger than our, I think it was a 6 meter cultivator. Unfortunately, I can't pull it quite as fast, so a little bit of a trade-off there, I guess. One of those, is it better to go faster with a smaller cultivator or get a big cultivator and go slower? Probably in the end, not much of a difference, maybe. Because depending on what that speed is, I can't really tell. Oh, you know what? The glance says we're doing 7.5. The speed there says we're going 6, 7, 8. And it's changing so fast I can't tell what it is, so. Yes, according to glance, we're going somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 miles an hour. So that's not too bad. A little better than half of what we were doing with the other cultivator. With, I guess, not quite double the width, so yeah, probably not much of a gain in the end. Oh well. Now, it's too bad, graphically speaking, you don't actually see the, I guess we'll call this corn, the corn getting knocked over by the tractor driving over it like this. That'd be kind of cool. I guess technically if you had the drive control mod on, you would actually have the wither wheels. Now, I don't know if the wither wheels would actually work in a scenario like this or not. I would assume they probably would. That would actually be somewhat more realistic, I guess you could say. But yeah, as you can see, we're not even halfway done with this field yet. One of the circular fields on the map, actually the biggest circular field, I guess, field 11. Field 12 down there is round as well. Kind of an interesting field shape size. Not sure what's up with that, but... Okay, and we're back, and we're joined by Steven. Which reminds me again, for those of you who want to join us here on Central California on the server, Download links are in the description of this video below. And like I mentioned before, you'll probably want to just click the download all link. That'll download all, well, it's going to download a bunch of the mods. It's not going to necessarily download all of the mods. Once you do that, then you want to click on the other download link, and then you can download whatever mods you are missing. Like I said, I've gotten mixed comments back onto that as to whether that download all link is working. A couple people have told me the download link is working for all the mods, download all the mods. A couple people have told me it's leaving the map out. A couple people have told me it's leaving other mods out. So I'm not entirely sure what it's doing, if it's doing something different for everybody or what's going on. But reason being is because I have exceeded the 2 GB limit for the number of mods on the server, or for the download links for the mods on the server, I should say. And the main reason for that is because this map here, Central California, is like 1.5 gigabytes, so doesn't leave a whole lot of space for mods. So, you know, it's kind of the choice. Okay, do we play the game with just the in-game equipment, or do we just stick with the mods and, oh well. And I kind of went for the, we'll go for the mods and say, oh well. And like I said, for those of you who played on Chellington with us, most of the mods are the same. We did add in a few of the extra mods required for this map, but that was pretty much it. So, and then there is a TeamSpeak server. If you folks are joining on the server, we do ask that if you could join that. Just makes it a whole lot easier to communicate via TeamSpeak than it does just the little simple in-game chat there. Even if you don't have a mic, TeamSpeak has a chat in it as well. And then at the very least, too, you can also listen to us, you know, hey, can you do this for us or something like that. Just like I said, a whole lot easier to communicate that way. And also, I do get asked the question every now and then, hey, what time am I on? I am typically on later at night. And by later at night, I usually mean around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now with daylight savings. So Eastern Standard Time with daylight savings now. Typically, I usually try to record this a little bit earlier in the day. That varies depending on what time I get out of work, which the past month has been a bit later than I'd like it to be. But yeah, the last week and a half or so has been a bit slower, getting out for the most part normal times. So typically I'm recording this about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So 3, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time with daylight savings. Okay, reading through the comments here. I had someone ask, where do you get the Sosnovka map? And I've gotten this question a couple of times, actually, and it kind of surprises me, because I typically say when I do it, Sosnovka from the Gold Edition DLC. So yes, Sosnovka map, for those of you who do not know, is part of the Gold Edition DLC from Farming Simulator. So you have to pay for it. Or you could wait. There's probably, I have not looked myself, but there'll probably be a modded Sosnovka coming out at some point. Or there is already. I know, like Westbridge Hills, there's a couple modded versions of Westbridge Hills out already, so. Chris was saying triticale is a hybrid cross between wheat and rye. It says has the high protein of wheat and the weed resistance of rye. And at least in Northwest Ohio, it's used as feed for dairy. So yes, that is one of the crops on this map here. And like I mentioned before, when we first started the map, I believe it's the field above number 1 there. Or it is number 1. No, I think it's the field above number 1 there. Episode 1, when we first started, there was something on that field I tried to do something with. Unfortunately, could not. That might be what's on that field. I'm not sure. Basically, another one of the unknown crops on this map that we're not entirely sure what to do with. So, like in the case of this, what looks like corn here, cultivate it under because we can't figure out what to do with it. We can't harvest it. We haven't tried. I don't know if we've tried chopping it or not. I'll have to ask. At least myself, I have not tried chopping it. That might be maybe worth checking into before we cultivate it all under here. Or at least buy the little chopper. I don't think I added in. Let's double check here. That's would be in game. Let's check the mods. Did I add in? No, I did not. I did not add in that little. Oh, is it the Crone 580? I believe. From the mod contest. Very nice little chopper. Basically gives you a little bit smaller chopper to start with. Looks like Steven is doing some cultivating there as well. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure how they had this field set up. You know, they obviously had the John Deere here with the 6-meter cultivator in the case there with the, I think that's a 5 or a 4.5 meter cultivator. It's the one annoying thing about the in-game chat. When you have a GPS set and you go to chat, it turns the GPS off. And if you actually have to use one of the steering keys, such as A or D, your tractor will actually get off course really quick, unfortunately. So, well, even with the bigger cultivator here, I think it's going to take a while. You can pretty much, I think, see where we've started there. I believe that's where we started. At row over there. We have not made it that far, I would say. By the way, size of this map. I forget if I mentioned this or not. I've been told that this is an 8x map, so 8 times bigger than a normal map. Take Westbridge Hills, for example. That is a normal map. This map is 8 times bigger than Westbridge Hills. So that is humongous. Previously, like the biggest maps we played on this server have been 4x. So 4 times bigger than a normal map. I've been told this is 8 times. So this is a big, big map. I believe it was South Dakota, I think. And I don't know if that map is out yet. I believe that they said that was going to be a 16x map. So that basically be twice as big as what this map is. Or 16 times bigger than a normal map, which is, yeah, wow. I'm not sure how big that's going to be, but that's just going to be huge. Anyway, back to the comments. Taylor was saying the only time we use a tedder is when it rains on some already dried hay. Like I mentioned in that episode as well, don't see tedders used very often in my area. Like I mentioned, there is like one farmer that has one. It's just a small one. They actually do what I would say is a more European style of farming, at least with their hay anyway. And by European, I mean they cut it with a mower like what's in the game here. One of these style mowers here, this Pottinger. They cut it with a mower like that. And then they obviously, you know, it's widespread. Then they ted it, and then they windrow it with a windrower that likes in the game here. And then I think, do they bale it? Don't remember what they do with it, but it's going to be what I call a very European style of handling the hay. Whereas the American style of handling hay, you typically take like the Moco. I don't think I have it in here. I do not know. But anyway, for those of you who've seen single player, like the John Deere Moco I have, or the Case version of it, or a self-propelled mower, for example, that would be a more American style of cutting the hay. And typically, when it's cut, it's going to be a wide windrow. It's going to be a windrow, but it's going to be a little bit, typically a wider windrow. And then once, usually it'll set for a couple of days, dry out. Once that's happened, then we'll come through with a rake. Not a windrower, but a rake. And just kind of turn the grass over. Let it dry for anywhere from another couple of hours to a day. And then it'll get baled or whatever the farmer's going to do with it. Now, if they're going to chop it, then it typically doesn't get raked. It'll get windrowed. Or not windrowed. It'll get put into a more narrow windrow and then chopped usually within a day or so. So it's a little more green when it's chopped. Okay, and we're back again, joined by Thomas this time. Took a minute there for that one to sync. Surprisingly, for such a big map, it does sync fairly quickly. Probably not quite as quick as, say, Chellington or even Michigan map did. Both of those maps synced really quickly. And yes, for some of those wondering why I'm not maybe in the cab view as much, this is about all you can see from in the cab, so... Okay, back to the comments. Andy was saying, nice video. Thank you very much for that. Dareen was asking, when is the next ATS video? Well, it happens to be the next American Truck Simulator video was today. At least at the time I'm recording this, so... Gert Jan Witt left a very interesting comment here. For Sosnovka, we were doing that baling, you folks may remember, getting some really nasty lag spikes there. And Gert Jan Witt said, the lag at the end of the video could have been caused by the baler picking up some untedded grass. Interesting there, I never thought of that, but I just noticed my GPS there was off. It appears he's probably right on that. So, it's just something to make note of, I guess. Untedded grass, and I don't know if it's just that baler or all balers. I guess it creates some sort of lag there. So, good thing to note. Trafico Gaming was saying you have the same setup as One Lonely Farmer. And for those who do not know, he has a Krone Big Pack 1290, I believe it is. 1290 HDP, I think, or something like that, if I remember the exact numbers or name. Anyway, looks like that's all the comments for the moment. And with that, I think we better wrap up the episode as well. So if you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching and till next time.